there's a certain group of people that want to buy that car and like that process,
Mhm.
but the majority don't. So why would you want to run them down that chute?
If Tesla tried to duplicate it today, they might be able to pull it off, but it would be harder. And if with the franchise stores trying to pull off the Tesla model is damn near impossible.
The tech guys wanted to ruin everything. They want to burn it down and build it back up to their specifications on what they know, which is very limited.
But if you're going to do that as a
You gotta be
dealer,
all in.
you got to be all in. And I'm not talking about all in today. I'm talking about all in every day. And don't give up.
Yeah.
It's gonna get worse before it gets better.
The Retain and Gain Podcast. Retain and Gain. The Retain and Gain Podcast. Retain and Gain.
And here we are, car people. Welcome to another Retain and Gain here in beautiful downtown Cedar Falls, Iowa. Here we go with another great topic. I love this one. I love this topic today because it's just so talked about. The
And
OEM,
you are.
What's that?
You're Larry Bruce, correct?
I thought everybody knew who I was.
Well, I know they don't know who me. I'm Rob Mudd. This is Larry Bruce.
I'm Larry Bruce. This is Rob Mudd.
Hola.
This is Retain and Gain. This is our kind of offshoot of the old guys who know, and we're giving more shit we
Right,
know.
exactly.
All right.
We didn't have enough room for three. It was only two.
Yes. We couldn't bring the other old guy in
It'd be
here. He
too
wasn't
much.
old enough. He wasn't old enough.
Yeah, that's true.
You got this is the 50+ group.
Right.
Wow. Did I just say that on
yeah,
camera?
You did. Sure did. It's better than what you said on the last one, so that's okay.
Oh, what was it? I don't even
I'm not even going to repeat it.
You don't want to?
It's not. No, it's not
good?
necessary.
It's
no.
not necessary.
It wasn't that bad. We'll just continue.
Okay.
The topic today.
The topic today is the OEM model, dealership model versus Tesla. The Tesla direct model. The dealership model, is it still working? What has changed? Really? What has changed? Because we've been going through this change in the car business. Seems like for 25 or 30 years. So let's talk about what really has changed.
Yep.
Because I think we really got to talk about what really has changed. But let's start with just the high level, the dealership model versus a direct model. Okay, Ford spent $460 million experimenting on direct model, didn't work out.
Yep.
Tesla has made the direct model at least work for them, right? So they've shown it can be done.
They've shown it can be done on the right product.
Yeah, man, that may very well be. It may be the product. It also, I think I look at it and I say, well, they own their finance company, so they kind of own the soup to nuts of the entire process. So
The food chain.
the food chain. So therefore, I can see it working better for them than it would for Ford or for a mainstream gig.
Well, they don't have, the big issue is states' franchise laws.
Yeah. Well, they busted through that. They went through a lot of years.
Yeah.
I can remember having many, many conversations with Cliff Banks. Shout out to Cliff.
Hey, Cliff.
Yeah. Having many conversations with Cliff on, Texas TADA's fight with Tesla and the franchise thing, which I think they compromised on. I don't think Tesla won. I don't think TADA won, but I think they compromised. Or at least that's how it feels to me. But I think they fought that battle and they won it because they're doing it right. So that happened. Now I think the franchise dealers, Chevrolet, Ford, the guys who have dealers, they have a different problem because they've already got in place many thousands of in place agreements that they have to fight.
Right.
All Tesla had to fight was the state franchise law.
That's
right.
It. Yep.
That's it. Ford's got to fight the state franchise law and
Every
every
dealer.
dealer. Right? That's a different deal.
Ball game. Yeah.
And they're when it comes to this, they're real unified.
Yes.
I assure you.
100%.
Yeah. So, it was a different, I think that was a different fight for them. And they lost. The manufacturer did. And, did they lose really? Because I think they have a good model. Stick with what you're doing. Just make it better. I don't think Tesla's model is any better than the OEM model. It's just that's how Tesla works, and this is how Ford works. Yep. And you get good at what you do. There's no one better way to do one thing or another.
The Tesla isn't really a car as we know it. It's a shell, it's got wheels, and it has a battery.
Right.
A car has 36,000 moving parts.
Yeah.
So I don't want to rely on the Maytag repairman or the guy at the factory I got to call to come fix my whatever problem I have.
Right.
So there's a lot of reasons on why it's set up the way it is set up. I think it's the right way to set, but we're advocates of the dealer, right?
Yeah. Well, it's not just the dealer model. Let's say for the customer, for the manufacturer,
it's better for the customer.
It's better for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, the customer can go down and get their vehicle serviced, right? Even if it was just a battery, even if Ford went all electric tomorrow.
Yep.
I think there's two things that are going to that the dealer model facilitate that you miss with Tesla, and what I believe is keeping Tesla from being a real mainstream player. Because while they're making money and they're doing well, they're not a mainstream player.
No,
right? Not even close.
No.
Right. So to get into the millions of cars sold, at least in the U.S., I think people still want to buy from a person they like, know, and trust, who can answer questions, and they want to feel connected to that transaction with a person,
because it's the second biggest one they'll ever make.
Right. And so they have it's still emotional. They want to feel that no matter how much you want to try to take it out. It's not coming out.
No, because they need help in trusting the process. Right. They want to feel like they're doing the right thing. And the local franchise dealer is there. He lives there. He's home. Mr. Ford doesn't.
Right.
Mr. Ford is in Detroit, and I don't know. So the psychology of the franchise store, I think, is needed to get people into vehicles. I don't think you can do it yet. You're not ordering a washer and dryer here.
Yeah.
Right? This is an extension of a personality. There's many reasons why.
Right. You're buying a car, right?
Right.
And so I think that's the first thing that the franchise dealer model facilitates that can't be duplicated by Tesla. And if Tesla tried to duplicate it today, they might be able to pull it off, but it would be harder. And if with the franchise stores, trying to pull off the Tesla model is damn near impossible, right? They're just so far entrenched in it. So go with what you know.
Yep.
Now the second thing is what you talked about earlier, service. When I buy a vehicle, being in the business, I take my car down to the BMW store, I drop it off. They have a car waiting for me, and even for an oil change. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm not without wheels. Right. Having my car not be available for some people, it's just not doable. Right. So you can't say, hey, look, take it to the to the Tesla center 600 miles from here. Well, you can't do that.
Well, but then you've got the Waymos and the Ubers, and you've got other means of transportation that you never had before, right?
Right. But you think about it. When you look at it, I had to go, but at one point with when I worked for Reynolds, I had to go from Clear Lake in Houston to Hollister, which was every bit of about 50 miles. That's a $70 Uber. And then I had to come back. That's another $60, $70 Uber. It's $150 a day.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's stiff.
That's stiff. You're looking at it going, it's edgy, right? For you even at that, I mean, most customers aren't going to do that.
No,
And and if you're in a spread out place like Houston, your Uber ride's going to be spendy, right? If you're going as far as you have to go, and the reason you have a car, so those two things are going to hinder this model of direct. And then I think the customer.
Do you even think is that the push for that even exists anymore?
I think it's been hidden, or no, not hidden. It's been beat down pretty bad. But there are people who still think it's going to happen, who still want it to happen. Even, I mean, well, if you're a digital retail provider, you want it to happen, right? But those guys have gotten pretty beat up. They've realized that the customer wants to buy it from a person. They want to buy it from somebody they like, know, and trust. They don't want to build it. They don't want this. Even the generations coming up don't want what you're selling.
No, they don't. And the franchise model is a model of freedom. The Tesla model is a model of control, and the government would like the control, right? And so they facilitated this whole system of Tesla, right? They incentivize people to buy or subsidize the car, right? For $7,500.
Right.
So that anytime the government gets involved in anything, that's control, right? That's what they want.
It's usually screwed up. But
it's screwed up.
Yeah.
So the mod. I mean, this may be a weird analogy, but I see it as control versus freedom. Because you wouldn't.
I've never looked at it that way.
I just thought of it right now, to be honest with you. But that's what that government process to me means control, because that's all those folks want, right? They're not there. The government is made up by the people that you vote to go there. Depending on where you live, the village idiot could be the guy you sent to. So we could have a Congress full of village idiots. We could.
What do you mean could?
We'll probably do and see what happens. So anything that they want to control, I think is a bad thing.
Right.
I don't know where I'm going with this, but that's where I look at it. I see freedom with the franchise model. I see control with the direct to the consumer. Yeah, because the consumer doesn't have any control over the process.
Yeah, I think from the consumer standpoint, I know people, and I know myself would feel much more comfortable that I can take it 2 miles, 5 miles to my local dealership, drop it off, and get it serviced.
Yeah. But if it's an electric car, they kind of take away that problem too, right?
Yeah.
Because
it doesn't need as much service, right? True.
It's a sociology experiment, this thing is, right?
A little bit.
We're trying to change how we interact with people, how we conduct business. They're trying to change it all. And to me, when you're trying to change it from the top to the bottom, tier integration, so to speak, but you're the tier 1, 2, and 3, it's control. And you can't fight that, right? I can go to my dealer, bitch, moan, complain. He's going to take care of me. I can't go to the Tesla, bitch, moan, and he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, fair analogy.
Well, I shouldn't say he doesn't give a shit, but you're not getting to Elon Musk.
No, you're no.
Right.
No. And then there's also the community factor of the car dealership. You know, they want to get rid of these franchise stores, or they'd like this all to be run around in electric cars. But, you know, if you get rid of car dealerships, you know what you also get rid of? The biggest tax base for a community.
A lot of it, yeah.
Right? Who pays more taxes? Sales tax, car guys, right?
Right.
So if you get rid of those guys because your transactions aren't as fast or quick, you're hurting yourself, Mr. Customer. Or
I don't know that. Yeah, I mean, I get that, and that's all these are 100% valid points. Everybody's got to think about it. No, you won't think about it till you've already done it, and you go, well, shit, that sucked. Right.
So if you go through, if you're driving through Iowa or Midwest, and you drive through a town that's not much going on, but there's not a car dealership there. But if you go through a small town with car dealerships, you're going to see action because there's a tax base. They got to pay sales tax back to the community. And people don't think of this. If you don't have car, I mean, that's probably a bad example. But electric car has, I think, 1,400 moving parts. ICE has 36,000. What about the difference? What are you going to do with those people that made the parts for the cars that you don't need anymore? This technology is great, but there's still people that it's replacing.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've been talking about this forever, but the more that AI evolves, the more that we want to be more streamlined and more efficient means you're taking something out of the equation, and that's people.
Yeah, I mean that's inevitable. There's no. I don't think you win that battle. It's like
I'm not trying to win the battle. It's the reality.
Yeah,
you got people, right?
They're real. I mean, but it's like it's like if we go back to 2001. I can remember sitting in meetings, hearing about the internet and the dealers fighting against it, and I remember telling them distinctly, "You're not going to win.
No, you're not going to win.
What the customer wants is what you're going to get, and ultimately, what does the customer want? They want a cheaper ride.
Yeah.
They want lower cost of ownership.
Yeah. Yeah.
They want lower payments.
Yeah.
And they want to be able to still get where they want to go.
And they want to be able to buy what they like.
Right. And they want to be able to buy what they like. So if whether it's ICE or electric, dealer or non-dealer, if it fits these 5 categories, it's going to win.
Right. There's no doubt about it.
There's no way around.
And it's still for 10% of the people.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, for everybody. I mean,
no. But my point, I guess I'm looking at this again. I'm taking the angle of the electrification of what we just all went through, right, for the past 3 or 4 years of. We're going to change the car business, right? Why? Because you can't buy ICE cars. We're just going to make electric cars, right?
Yeah, that's silly. You're not going to force people to do something they don't want to do.
No.
But but they want those 5 elements about a car purchase or a transportation purchase.
Mm-hmm.
If you facilitate those 5 things about transportation purchase, it's going to win. That model will win.
Mm-hmm.
Your dealership model, your direct model may not win but what the customer's model always wins.
So the manufacturers today over time have sold millions, hundreds of millions of cars, hundreds of millions of people. Well, the Tesla model hasn't sold that many cars to that many people for that long.
No.
Right?
Well, you would think that would give them an edge, but it doesn't seem to.
No, right.
Right.
Because I think it's like anything else. There's a certain group of people that want to buy that car and like that process, but the majority don't. So why would you want to run them down that chute?
Because what the manufacturer sees, they get the headache of the dealer out of the way, they get the cost of the dealer out of the way, they get the whole hassle of trying to find good dealers to run stores out of the way.
So then you take an entrepreneurial spirit, and you get rid of that. You put a guy in there that's a bean.
Not or you just don't have the store at all, and there's a lot of bad things that will happen as a result of this. Even if customers win, and they do it when the customers always win, and this does happen. There's a lot of residual bad stuff that most customers won't even think about. And to be quite honest with you, even if they did, they probably don't care.
No, they want their car. They want
their car. It's about them. It's not about you. It's always been about them. It's never been about you. And so,
but what they don't understand is unforeseen consequences.
Later on, they might go, well, when they're missing that, that billboard out in the center field for their kids' little league team, they might go, well, shoot, that sucked. I kind of killed that. They may think that, may not. Who knows? But at the end of the day, whatever the customer wants is going to win. So how long does it take? Now, you take we talked to Chris, your brother, yesterday about this cross country trip in his Tesla.
Right.
Yeah. And
he said it was fun once.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I'm listening to that and I'm going, well, I remember looking on the website and the Super Hootie model battery Tesla will go 400 miles supposedly. He's like, man, I wish we'd have gotten 200 miles.
Right.
He couldn't even get 200 miles. So even the Tesla people are fudging a bit on their what happened.
Absolutely. And then when he said, How long did it take you?
45 minutes between each charge.
Is that what Buttigieg thinks is the time to read a book?
I guess. Right. So educate yourself, become enlightened while you're waiting on your car to gas up. Yeah, I've been used to pulling up to the gas station and in less than 3 minutes being out. You're not going to get me to live 45 and take time to get in touch with my education side.
Fast food world, right?
100%.
You just took me back 30 years to get my gas.
100%. Since the very first day of the very first Tesla, the very first electric car, I've always said they're never going to become mainstream until I can pull up to a gas station and fully charge the same way I can my car today. Until you do that, we are not going to see electric cars. Period. End of story. Don't care who you are. That's not going to win.
Unless it's mandated by the government.
Well, even if it's mandated by the government, customers will still push back against it, and customers win. The money always
I bet
wins.
you go to California and the customers wouldn't be saying that.
No, they'll just move.
And which they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will eventually leave. All these places that mandate this stuff, that do these stupid things, people just leave. Now the bad news is for Texas is they come to Texas and then they California my Texas. No, well, that's not. You messed up your deal. Go live with it.
So what do you think about California and the way that these guys have controlled the manufacturers because of their size, right?
Yeah. They've jerked them around a bit.
Jerked them around the whole time, right?
Yeah.
So much so that they almost ruined the business, right? Because of the California emission laws and the gas efficiencies. And, they had OEMs had to make these engines, get everything out of them, right? And so they cost more money.
To some degree it's good, to some degree it's bad. I mean, you got to take the good with the bad on that one, I think. I'm all for... you see it in dealerships, right? Dealerships will get to a point where they're making good money and they won't try to improve anything, right?
That's just not dealers. That's a lot.
That's businesses in general, right?
Yeah.
So having something that will push them to do things that are right for the consumer, the community, the country, the environment, I think those things are all very good. They can go, but if you put it in the hands when you put it in the hands of even one group of people, that goes too far. It always gets pushed too far, right? And they pushed it too far. Right.
And it goes against everything that capitalism stands for.
100%.
So, there's a internal conflict here of changing what we're founded on, right? And some people, we know who those people are, wanting to change it for control purposes only, right? Because they shouldn't be allowed to run a popsicle stand, let alone our government.
Well, that's a whole nother. Yeah. I mean, that's the reason why we are a constitutional republic and not a democracy.
Yeah.
Please stop saying democracy. Right. We shouldn't turn this into a political podcast, but
it's not. This is a.
But it
is, but it's a common sense podcast, man.
Exactly.
We're not saying anything that's crazy here.
Right? This is not true. Yeah. It's not like we're lying. We are a constitutional republic.
And what does that mean? It means states' rights, all this stuff they don't teach anymore.
Right.
A guy the other day was telling me, he was asking me, this has nothing to do with the car business at all, but he said, they don't teach cursive in school any longer. Right? I don't have children. I don't have niece and nephews.
Yeah.
I'm like, I guess that's right. They don't. Well, that would also mean that if you can't write it, you probably can't read it. And our Constitution, the original document, was written in cursive.
That's a you kind of go, no, that can't be. No one thinks that far.
Yes, they do.
They're
yes, they do.
That's a demented.
No. They're called communists, right? That's what we call them, right? Hey, it happened.
Yeah, yes. I mean,
I think there are powers at hand that are trying to change everything here, right?
Yeah. Well, everything. Maybe there could be. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot of you look at there's a lot of things that go on. You kind of go, huh? When a guy tells you I want the state to run a grocery store,
right? That's insane.
You what?
You think you're going to get good lettuce?
No.
No,
Has the state ever run anything
No.
efficiently? Has it ever done anything successfully at all? No. Has the government itself done anything? Of course not. So why would you have it do anything?
That'll never happen. But right now, it sounds, for the people that like it,
That's what it took to get me elected.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is.
It's silly. Yeah,
It's
but anyway,
terrible.
getting back to the dealership model. back on the. I think we're got off topic. Yeah, getting back to the dealership model. You look at the dealership model. I think the dealership model wins. I think the dealership model. I think customers like the dealership model better. I think there's a small segment that still like the Tesla deal. They like for it to show up. It would be. I would tell you, honestly, from my curiosity standpoint, it would be super cool to push a button, buy a car, and have it drive itself to my driveway. I'd be like,
that's probably coming.
That's
coolest. Called Carvana, right?
Yeah. Carvana 2.0, right? But I would go, that is the coolest thing ever. And then you'd ask me, well, Larry, would you ever do it again? No, I'm good.
Once is enough.
I checked that box. I'm golden now. Right. So that's really, I think the novelty, there's some novelty to this that people go, oh, that was cool. I did it. And now I don't really need to do it again. I'm good.
I believe that.
There is a big segment of that. So, if you, at the end of the day, to me, there, and it's a personal thing with every customer, but I think the biggest thing you ever see, and the one thing we don't get back to enough in the car business, it bothers me, is it used to be that like every year you'd wait for the new cool body style refit
in the fall.
Yeah, I mean, we don't do that anymore.
No.
We got to the point where we're like body styles change like every 5 or 6 years now, right?
And that has to do with how you're telling the story, right?
Right.
And everything today moves at such speed is uncalculable, because you got speed, then you got velocity, and velocity, you can't understand that. And that's what we're in right now.
Yeah.
And with that speed comes it erases the things that we're talking about, right? Because
but does it erase it for the good? It happens so fast. I don't know. And then nobody knows if it erases it for the good or not, because it happens so damn fast.
And something else is now in front of us that's happening so fast.
Right. And yeah, exactly. I agree with you. I mean, the dealership model has been tried and tested many years. I think it's staying around.
I do too.
Yeah. I don't see that.
I think so more now than ever before, because I don't hear people. The tech guys wanted to ruin everything. They want to burn it down and build it back up to their specifications on what they know, which is very limited. Right? Yeah. So I'm not against technology. I'm for technology. I'm
just against tech guys.
Right.
I totally get you. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a power deal.
Right. I never considered myself a technology person. I've always, if anybody ever asks me what you do, I sell cars.
Yeah.
Right now, if people ask me, what do you do? I sell cars. But at the end of the day, I'm just a car guy who happened to learn and know something about technology.
Yeah, and I'm not hammering on evolution, because you can't
stop
happen.
That. It's going to happen, right?
But to evolve based off a certain group of people that are forcing the change based off what their vision of the future must look like.
But that future, in my opinion,
for now,
but when I look at the way some of these pitches go, that future, in my opinion, is based on what they're selling.
Correct, 100%.
Right. So they're trying to mold the future into what they're selling, rather than look at this is what the future is going to be, and I need to build something to fix it to meet that future.
They're creating the problem, not solving the problem.
Right. They're trying to create the problem and then supply the solution. Right.
That's like the fireman that starts the fire, then puts it out and saves the village.
So your digital retail tool did not change the business. Your Carvana did not change the business. Carvana met the customer what they wanted, which is give them all the information online so they can make an intelligent, informed decision. But most of the cars get delivered at Carvana. That's not new, by the way. That's what customers have always wanted. So the dealership models change. What does the dealership model need to change? The dealership model needs to change. Give them the information to make an intelligent, informed decision. This is where I get. We from, and this started like about in the late. I think it started really in the early 90s, because I don't remember really going too much into the deal hard until the 90s. The 80s, they always wanted to know the price, but it was never about the deal. Mm-hmm. And then in the early 90s,
incentives.
That did help. That did help push us into the deal, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So we got into this deal thing, right? And we got out of the experience, and we thought what these tech guys want you to believe is the experience is what happens online. No, it's not. It's how I feel when I walk in your store. It's how I do when I go.
It's not turning your phone off when you're on.
Right.
Taping
Exactly.
a podcast.
Right.
That's not good. But I believe this is a deal. Or no, it's not.
So anyway, at the end of the day, I believe that all the things we're talking about are the experience, and I believe we have to get back to them to really make the experience what customers want. We have to have events.
Yeah.
We have to make car buying fun
again.
Right. I want a hat. MCF A.
Oh, what does that
Make car buying fun again.
Oh, is it going to be red hat?
It could be. I like red. But I want make car buying fun again. It's time to make. It really is time.
Yeah.
In my opinion, to make car buying fun again. To stop we are turning it into a transaction. The customer doesn't want it to be a transaction. You're doing it.
Correct.
Because you're being told that's what it is, and it's not what it is. You're being told it's an Amazon transaction.
It's not.
I'm just going to go right out on a limb right now and say that's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's not.
No.
It's not.
No. People are human beings are communicating, interacting beings, right?
Yeah.
We need to associate with people. Otherwise, you die. Loneliness is a disease, right? And so we shouldn't extend it and make it easier to be lonely.
Right.
We need to make it easier to be a community, right?
Yeah.
And bring people together.
Yeah, and I love you said that, because it reminds me of a story. I remember, in around 2008, there was a company, I wanted to call it was called Wild Funnel or Wild something wild.
Girls Gone Wild?
No, it wasn't quite that, but it was something wild or something like, and it basically allowed you to negotiate a car deal online. And I looked at the guy and said, so let me see if I can get this straight. You want to take something that customers hate, allow them to do it from their house faster.
Yeah. It's
yes.
recipe.
Help me to suck quicker. No, I don't think I want to do that. And you're talking about the same thing now. What we're doing right now is we're accelerating the car buying experience to suck.
Yeah.
Because we treat it like it's just this transaction rather than treating it like this event.
Right. And who pushed that? I don't know, the factory. We want people in and out in 30 minutes. Well, shit. Why? Right? What they want is not to get yanked around once they're there, right?
Where they want to be in and out in 30 minutes?
The dentist?
No. In the car deal.
The F&I.
Right. They want to be into the price and F&I and out in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Then as far as the cool stuff that goes on with my car, you could take an hour.
Yeah.
You could take a couple.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Learning the cool, neat stuff about my car is great to a degree, right? Mm-hmm. I also keep in mind, I want to get out of that store and go show all of my friends my new cool car as quickly as I can.
Yeah. And where you spend the most time is where you're the most nervous.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because most people probably, I don't know, maybe they do, maybe they don't know their credit score, right?
Yeah.
And a car deal is a credit deal, right? For 83% of the people. Mm-hmm. So they want to get out of the place where they feel the most unease.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's the thing that they think of. People dislike two things more than the other thing: dentists and car dealerships. Why? Because they don't do either with frequency.
Yeah.
That's
why it's an event.
It's an event.
It is the car buying. The car buying process of the car buying. When I go, that's an event for me.
Yeah.
Right. Just like there's buying a house. It's an event.
And we've narrowed it down
to a transaction.
Now, I don't know why if more people have access to more money. I don't know why it is. Well, we live in a 24-hour society. You know, every minute counts, and everybody's measuring how much production you can get out of that minute. So nothing's about value. Well, when I say nothing, that's the general term. It's about speed. Everything's about speed. How much can we get done or get? Well,
speed definitely is a factor in how you feel about something. And I think it feels like an hour's worth of negotiation feels like 5.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
It
draining.
does.
It's
yeah.
draining.
Yeah. Because it's just draining. Right. Another hour in the box in the F&I department. That feels like 5
because it's conflict.
Yeah,
most people don't like
and they
conflict.
don't want it. Right, exactly. So, but the hour you take to deliver my car and give me or the 30 minutes or whatever time it takes, right, to get me in my car, that doesn't feel that long, right? And so I think that you can negotiate, just do it quickly. You can obviously you can put me in the box. You don't have to be all at the desk. But do it quickly. Understand the problem. This is the crux to me, right? Solve the problem. Don't build technology and then find a problem. I mean, I still think I take blockchain as a great example. It is right now, it's a piece of technology looking for a problem to solve. You built this piece of technology and it's looking for a problem to solve. And that happens all the time in the car business. Here's this technology. Now let's see if we can find a problem in the car business where we can plug this thing in. Solve it.
And why is that? Is it because the people that built the tech don't understand the car business?
No, I think the people they do the same thing Google did. There's $8 billion that's being spent in the car business on, and if you add tech to it, it's probably $10 billion that's being spent on marketing and tech, MarTech, inside of the car business. And I want my piece of that $10 billion. I never knew that kind of money was being spent until I'd already sold AIM data to rentals. I had no idea.
Until you stepped up.
I realized, oh wow, you guys are spending that kind of money. Right. I didn't walk into AIM data, and I've never walked into any company that I've built in automotive because there's this amount of money that's being spent. I never looked at it that way. Looked at what is the problem that needs to be solved. Can I solve it? Right, and that was always the driving factor.
And the problem that the dealer had was he always wanted to sell more cars.
Right.
In order to sell more cars, he had to have more conversations.
Right.
In order to have more conversations, he had to have more people show up.
Right. Yeah. It's a vicious circle. Right.
And they thought that the internet would allow them to have thousands more conversations. What happened is you didn't have any.
Yeah. Right, exactly. You took the conversation completely out of the deal and you turned it into a click.
Yep.
Stop with the clicks, get to conversations. Don't run campaigns, start conversations. Nothing happens in your store without a conversation.
So we were talking about this the other day too, is differentiating your dealership. So Carl Sewell, right?
Yeah.
Do those guys still exist? Not them, Carl Sewell, but does that belief system still exist? Does the big corporate dealer groups, have they ruined that because it's not I own it and I want to make it big because I own it? Or is it the big corporate smashing down that concept?
I don't think big corporate is. I think that from Carl Sewell, it was a culture from the very beginning, right? From like the lowest guy up.
Yep.
And they didn't just say it, they lived it.
And that was like Ritz-Carlton, where ladies and gentlemen servicing ladies and gentlemen, right? That was a big deal back in the day when we talked about those things, right?
But you got to live. If you want to do that, you got to live it, right?
Yep.
It's like one price. If you're going to do it,
you got to do it.
You got to live that, breathe that, right?
Yep.
But I think that the trouble that like an AutoNation or a Lithia has doing that is that it's hard to find people who care enough about the store to live it everywhere. And that culture doesn't really push down. They don't have, you'd have to really, 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 I mean, Sid would have to get serious, and the whole management team would have to do something that they're not really, it's against their culture, right? Because Lithia likes to buy the store and let the local guy run it the way the local guy runs it. That's kind of their stick, right? And there's certainly nothing wrong with that. I agree with it wholeheartedly, except for that if you're going to live this Carl Sewell way, no, you're going to take a guy who's not necessarily in that mode, and you're going to tell him you're going to get. You don't seem to understand. It's required.
Yeah, it's a total different mindset.
And finding people with that mindset harder probably than finding people that don't.
Because Carl Sewell process and culture was created by Carl,
right? And you did it Carl's way, right? And there was, and I don't know how many stores he has. I think he's in still sub 20s. Yeah. But but there are people who will not buy a car anywhere else. There are literally diehard fans there.
It's not a Cadillac. It's a Carl Sewell.
It's a Sewell.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you see I see the TV commercials inside in Houston. They're great.
Yeah.
It's a customer, and I don't own a car. They tell you I don't own a car. I own a Sewell.
Yeah.
And they don't give a shit what it is. I own a Sewell.
Yeah.
And that's great. I think, I think dealers would love to do that. But if you're going to do that as a dealer, you got to be all in. And I'm not talking about all in today. I'm talking about all in every day. Yeah. And don't give up. Yeah. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. Yep. You got to be. You got to be ready for that. Who's the Lincoln guy we were just talking about? We were just talking about him. No, maybe it wasn't me. It might have been another guy I was talking with about that. I'm trying to think of the link. There's a Lincoln guy up here in the Midwest who had that same philosophy, or maybe in the Northeast. I'll think of him in a minute. Did the same thing Carl Sewell did.
And then you look at Earnhardt down in Arizona. Get no bowl. Remember that?
Yeah.
It's a similar concept,
right?
What you're in on, right?
Right.
It's a Sewell. You don't get no bull at Earnhardt, right?
Right.
But it's a differentiating statement.
Yes.
We don't have those anymore.
They're USPs.
Yeah. And I think part of that is because the OEMs own all the websites.
Yeah. It's just a transaction. Why do I need a USB when it's just a transaction now? Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, when I look at buy stuff on Amazon, there's no USPs.
Yeah.
You'd be wrong. Yeah. There are USPs. Go look at those market. Go look at the products you buy on Amazon. Charmin has USBs. What's a Charmin's USBs?
Squeezable, right?
Exactly.
And you know why I remember that? Right. Because I remember the bear.
Yeah. Right. It's Charmin Soft. They have a USB.
Yeah.
Every one of those products you buy on Amazon has a USB. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Because you know how many brands of freaking toilet paper there are? You know what my choices are?
I have no idea.
A lot. Right? So here we are, and they've got a USP, but you feel like you don't need one.
Yeah.
No.
Why would you think that you don't need one? Because then I would suppose that you don't believe your product is different. Yeah. Right? Is that why you don't have?
No, well, I think your product. You think
your process?
No, because you think your product's at Chevrolet.
Yeah.
I mean, I said,
then you're a commodity.
Yeah. But the reality is that the car business is not a product business.
It's people business.
It's a service business with a product offering.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
You are a service company that offers a product, and as soon as that's what Carl Sewell knew. Right. I'm a service organization, and I have a product offering. You can buy my product anywhere. You can't get my service anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And every dealer needs to understand you are a service business with product offering.
You can't just say it; you got to live it. And so the person that,
but you still have to understand it, even if you're going to be a dealer, right?
Right.
Because I can buy that Chevrolet, that 1500. I can buy it in about 5 different places in my town within about 25 miles of my house.
Yep.
It's not like I got to go far. No. I don't got to get online, right?
Yep.
And so if I'm going to buy from you, there's got to be a reason I'm buying from you.
So, do you think? The OEM, they don't care which dealership you buy it from.
No, right? They don't give it.
So when they kind of own the web business, right? What website Well, you can't differentiate your website.
You can't make it look any better, different.
no,
you can put different offers on it.
Sure,
you can put your USPs on there.
Can't make it look any
but you
different.
can't make it look any different, right?
So it's not.
But that's 100%. That's a whole nother podcast, and we'll get into that one.
Yep.
But guys, we're going to land this plane right here. Here is our takeaways from this. The franchise dealer, the franchise model works.
Yes.
If you don't believe so, please tell us why.
Yes.
Franchise model works. The Tesla model works. There is no right or wrong there. That's not a right or wrong answer.
No,
it's just how you got started.
Yep.
But finish the dance with the gal that brought you. Ford, General Motors, Chrysler. Finish the dance with the gal. The gal that brought you is the dealers.
Is the dealer.
Right? Yep. Tesla will finish its dance with itself because it danced alone.
Yep.
Fair enough. That's cool. But don't try to get out of it just because the guy dances, or the guy or gal over here dancing alone is a good looking gal. Keep dancing with the gal that brought you.
Yep.
Is it working? It works when it works. It works when you work it. Right? Don't understand, you will have to work it. You are a service business with a product offering. What is unique about you? What is your service? What are you doing?
Your unique
unique selling proposition, your unique value proposition, whatever you want to call it. There's got to be something about you. Not about the car. You are not your product is not the Chevrolet. That's just what you provide, right? Mm-hmm. Your product is you, is your store, and how that works. And if you can keep that in mind, the dealership model works well. It's going to be around in service, and people still want to buy from people they like, know, and trust, and people still want to buy from people. I'd have a hard time trying to even predict when that may change, if ever. I just don't see it.
The only way it changes is if it's some force makes it change, right?
Yeah,
and that force has to be a dominating force because it's going against the collective, conscious of people, of how we interact, right? Yeah. And that's the great American experiment. Mm-hmm. Is the freedom. And what does the automobile bring you? Freedom. Yeah. Right? So anyway, I can go punt.
We go so those are our takeaways.
Crash plane, take out, whatever.
If you the like, know, share, best compliment you give us. Thank you so much if you do. Please share the show. I'm Larry Bruce. This is Rob Mudd. You can reach either one of us. Check the websites, Larry at bdcbox.com,
Rob at mud.com.
Yeah, mud.com. He can say it, actually. I don't have to say it for him. So here we go. We are out. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
We'll keep them coming back, retain and gain. And we're bringing them in, retain and gain. From CRM smarts to AI brains, the Retain and Gain podcast. It's the name of the game. We're shifting gears to AI overdrive. We'll talk it up and we're breaking it down. The Retain and Gain podcast. Retain and Gain. 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 We'll keep them coming back, retain and gain, and we'll break